Awesome. How's it going, Fin River Farm family and club members? My name is Jacinth. I'm sitting here with my good friend and coworker Cougar, and we're going to introduce the 3 bottles on the Barn Swallow lineup for you today.
Yeah, and this is 3 ciders that I think both of us are really excited about. We have a brand new club selection, an orchard favorite, and a seasonal fall winter release.
Yes, a highly sought after, coveted seasonal release. A lot of folks are asking for Cranberry year round.
Yep, some fresh, some fan favorites, and some classics. So first off here, this is a really exciting one. Neither of us have ever tried this before.
Correct.
We, for some time now, have had relationships with some local lavender farms, in particular Wilderbee, right here in Port Townsend. And we've been doing lavender-infused ciders. This is the first time we've done a lavender cider without black currant, which is a really fun, lovely combo. You know, our black currant lavender cider is hugely popular. But this time we wanted to do something a little different. And in fact, this is the Purple Stave, which is an oak-aged lavender-infused cider.
Wow, look at the color on that. It almost has that soft hue. You know, funny, coming out of the bottle, I thought I saw a hint of purple. I think my brain just wanted to see it, but wow.
It's definitely, it looks delicate. Ooh.
It's a little hazier.
I can get the lavender right away.
Yeah.
One of the things I love about the Royal Velvet lavender, which is the variety that we usually use. I'd have to fact check that this is in fact Royal Velvet. But the culinary lavenders are definitely less overpoweringly aromatic and more subtle, more velvety, a little more of a rich undertone. Probably why they call it Royal Velvet.
Well, and the very aromatic lavenders have tons and tons of those oils which produce those aromas, which can lend it to a very soapy flavor, which is something you definitely want to avoid when you're eating or consuming lavender. So sticking with the culinary varieties really helps keep people who are mostly afraid of lavender interested in drinking it. It's
a really approachable lavender. It's really subtle, rich. I mean, I get it, very aromatic lavender qualities, but you know, on the palate, it's much more subtle. And it's
even in the scent profile too, you can pick up on the oak barrel, that lovely kind of vanilla softness partnered with the lavender.
Yeah, I like this. It's intriguing. It's complex. It's got a lot going on.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Wow.
I like it a lot.
So it's like
a lovely cider.
Lavender right up front, and then you get this great vanilla wave, that really soft kind of oak barrel aging influence. And then I feel the tartness just on the sides of my mouth here. You can kind of feel it seeping in by your tongue. And then lovely, clean finish. There's not a huge linger on this.
And you know, I think it's worth noting that all of these cru cider selections are limited special release. So it's definitely worth getting a few of these when you can, because they're here and gone often. Anytime you do bring home one of these cru selection bottles, you're of course supporting our crew with a little bit of, it's like a 10 cents on the bottle or something goes into a bonus check for them, or $1 a bottle. So yeah, really great way to thank our cider makers for their amazing artistry.
Yeah, well, and it gives them room to play with inspirations. And a lot of us here are friends with other local farms. We're friends with other folks who maybe just grow things at home. So the fun thing about the cru selections is, I mean, sometimes we just get a random ingredient dropped on the doorstep and they're like, hey, we can't use this, do something with it. And we'll do a small 100-gallon batch of cider that you may never see again. So just playing with those kind of unique availability, seasonal availability of crops, and working with our friends and family to kind of come together on fun small batches. You know, it's got to be pretty fun. I don't work in production, but as someone who works there, I can imagine this is a great creative outlet to really share what you're learning in the production facility. The flavor on this is incredible. This is amazing. I don't know what I was expecting, but it certainly wasn't this. It has that same slight tart but softness of the oak and apple, and this lovely, rich, floral lavender that just dances around the entire time. And it's right up front, and when you swallow, it's on the out breath as well. You know, you kind of get the fluidity of the oak and the vanilla coming later, but the lavender stays there the whole time.
Yeah,
this is swiftly becoming a new favorite of mine.
All right, next one we have is definitely a classic. This is part of our Orchard Series ciders featuring fruit from Fin River and from local sources. This one is a blend of oak-aged black currant wine with organic apples. And black currant is something that just packs so much of a punch. It's got a lot of acidity. It's very bright and fruity. Black currant cider has quickly become one of our very popular ingredients. And the black oak is just a way to give it a little bit more depth and complexity. The oak aging brings all of those notes we've been talking about,
Absolutely.
the buttery, the caramel, the vanilla.
When I speak with club members here, I like to talk about this one as being kind of like our Fin River take on our contemporary black currant cider that we sell year round. Using that one uses apples from the eastern side, and this is kind of like, well, how can we approach the same realm using heirloom cider apples with a lot more complex sugars and lots more tannins and acids playing around, and why not ferment that black currant juice into a wine to kind of back it up?
It's got that, right off the bat. You can tell black currant for sure. It's very, very fruit forward on the nose.
Yeah. Overall, the scent profile isn't terribly strong, though. But you're right, it just picks right up with black currant.
Oh yeah, and you can feel that the acids from the black currant definitely kind of move around the mouth. Like you can feel sort of the sharpness in the back of your cheeks, up on the front of your tongue.
Yeah, it definitely follows how you swallow. I mean, it's like sharp right up front, all the way to the back of your tongue. You get that lovely, it's almost like a velvety, or I hesitate to say oily acidity, but the black currant wine really does bring that volume and that body to the drink. And then when you do swallow, you get those lovely kind of apple tannins that really just dance around on your tongue.
Yeah, this is killer, complex. It's definitely, I think when we talk about food pairings, our cider maker has suggested this one along with grilled oysters, along with white fish, because it packs so much flavor that I think it could overwhelm or clash with something that was also strong flavored. So it would go really lovely with something light, some seafood, salty.
Even like a great fresh salad with like some pomegranate seeds on it, just to kind of balance the fruitiness for a nice spring salad. This would be a lovely addition.
Yeah, I love that tannic quality, the little bit of bitter, the little edginess of this cider. It's definitely, bold and present.
But it's not overpowering. You're right. So right when you swallow, the tannins are slow to follow. They wait a little bit. You get that kind of, it's not like a numbness, but you get that kind of fuzziness on your tongue from the tannins, and it kind of slowly fades from your taste buds.
Yeah, I can see what you're saying about this is very evocative of pomegranate, kind of that sharpness.
Absolutely.
A little bit bitter, but yeah, that's a lot of fun.
Wow.
I mean, sharp, bright, and fruity is definitely some connective themes to this next one as well. This is the Cranberry Rosehip cider.
Yeah.
Another one that's just represents a really, really incredible and fun relationship. For a long time, we've been sourcing organic cranberries from Starvation Alley in Washington. And it's quite a sight to behold, seeing a 800-pound pallet of cranberries being squeezed into this like rich, ruby red, intense, fresh cranberry juice, which then gets blended into the cider. And the Nootka rose, also the wild, locally harvested rose hips. So it's a beautiful fusion of some really vivacious local fruits, just that intense, lovely flavor with the cranberry, tart, bright, very, very upfront, and then that rosehip giving it a little bit more of the delicate, lingering, herbaceous undertone.
Well, and the rosehip definitely does complement kind of the subtle bitterness you find in a cranberry. The rosehip kind of brings it to fruition, and you get the whole flavor. You get that lovely tartness, a nice kind of bitter sheen as well. I love these seasonal botanicals. They really are a reflection of our roots, starting with organic farming and seasonal availability of crops. And it's really a great way for us to partner with other farms and other locally harvested food, and just really, showcase these in the seasons that these great ingredients are available, and then kind of not make them available again until the plants are ready to produce once more. It's really fun having that seasonal availability. I'm very partial to having cranberry juice on hikes. So this one typically comes out in November when hiking season slows down. I tend to buy a case and throw it on the shelf and wait till summer. So I might be a weird guy for that, but
Yeah, to each their own. I mean, I definitely see this as a lovely winter cider. It just has that, that really bright, really uplifting flavor that kind of brings me back to, a cheerful, cozy mind state. And I think it's an easy suggestion, but this alongside your typical holiday fare is an obvious food pairing choice.
It just tastes like Thanksgiving.
Definitely, yeah. I mean, the acidity, the brightness, it could really, really cut through rich gravies or, anything that's sort of like your hearty soul food.
Totally.
For winter.
It has that nice rich flavor, but it's not something that coats your palate. I always go back and forth with food pairings. When something is like really rich, but it lingers, I kind of hesitate to pair it with heartier foods. But you're right, this is something that could really stand up, especially with like a nice white meat. Some cracked pepper would be a great addition.
Absolutely. And it's a good one for the fans of more fruit forward, more, it's a subtly sweet cider. It's definitely not overpowering.
Absolutely.
But very fruity. It'd be delightful to play around with this in some cider cocktails or, just to pair it with foods where you want something a little more tart, a little bright, a little fruity.
Sure. And if you do find yourself in the woods in the winter, it's got a lovely, not too intense, but a lovely sugar content to really bolster yourself and get you back to the car, so to speak. Wow. I just love that color.
All right. Well, we tried not to ramble on too long, but it's hard to do when you're trying something that's so delicious and worth talking about.
Yeah.
So thank you all for giving us the time of day to listen to our cider musings. And I hope you enjoy your club selection because this is a really lovely lineup. And as always, we're incredibly grateful to have the ongoing support of our Cider Club members. So
we look forward to seeing you on the farm.
Thanks for sharing the love. Cheers.
Cheers, bud.